Behind the facade of a seemingly perfect marriage, a twisted housewife harbors a dark secret. Wendy Ochoa, now on death row, committed an unspeakable crime, murdering her sick husband for a reason that will leave you stunned. Brace yourselves for a shocking revelation as we uncover the sinister motive that led to this unfathomable act of betrayal and cruelty. Born on August 6, 1970, Wendy Ochoa was raised in a devout family, often traveling for ministry. Despite this, Wendy excelled academically, feeling stifled by her strict upbringing. She claimed a minister had exposed himself and suspected her father assaulted her, but couldn't recall the event. The truth remains unknown. In Wendy's poem Secrets, some lines read,
X-ray. A little girl burrows deep into a pile of blankets behind a closet door. She yearns for a place of safety and warmth, free from the painful love adults shower upon her. Cloaked in darkness, the silence magnifies the confusion. She desperately wants to be loved, but why does it feel so dirty? Instinctively, she knows the secrets must be kept, or love and approval will be denied. Just sleep. No more thoughts, no more fear. Sleep, my little one, sleep. She awakens to shame and guilt. These will later become lifelong companions. Guilt because she must be loved, painful or not. Shame because she feels deserving of this secret-laden love. This makes her feel like a bad girl. She crawls out of the closet, the secrets buried deep. The need for love was never a choice. Wendy needed that love.
Wendy met Joseph Adriano, married in 1994, and settled near Phoenix, Arizona, and had 2 children. Sadly, in 1998, Joseph fell ill. Misdiagnosed multiple times, he tried various treatments without success. In 2000, he was diagnosed with terminal cystic carcinoma and underwent chemotherapy. Wendy grew weary of caring for Joseph, feeling overburdened in a marriage she hadn't expected. At 30, she felt too young to be burdened with 2 children and an ailing husband. Joe frequently asked for assistance, and in one exchange, Wendy said,
He said, Joe, really? You could get these yourself.
In response, Joseph said,
It's hard for me to get out of the chair.
Reacting to those words, Wendy remarked,
Sure it is.
Wendy craved freedom from her burdens. She spent less time at home and more at work or with others. One day, when Joseph asked for his gray beanie before Wendy left for work, she told him,
Joe, I can't do this for everyone, okay? I can't take care of everyone all the time. Have it.
As an apartment manager, Wendy left for work and later met her co-worker Rick. Rick was among several men Wendy cheated on Joseph with, and though their affair ended, they stayed friends. Wendy asked Rick to impersonate her husband for a hospital visit to secure insurance. Surprisingly, Rick declined. In their conversation, Wendy said,
We need your help. Look, I'll give you $10,000.
Rick replied,
I can't.
Surprisingly, court documents revealed Joseph agreed to Wendy's plan of impersonating him for life insurance pre-screenings. With no help, Wendy tried obtaining life insurance for Joe, but was repeatedly denied. One company contacted Joseph, who declined further interest. 3 days later, Wendy emailed the company to reinstate the request, but was refused. She offered $50,000 to 2 others to impersonate Joseph, but they declined like Rick. Wendy became desperate and considered ending Joseph's life. On October 7, 2000, they attended a barbecue, returning home around midnight. At 2:15 a.m. on October 8th, Wendy asked her co-worker Chris to watch her kids while she took Joseph to the doctor. When Chris arrived, Wendy said,
Chris, I have a problem. Don't ask any questions. My husband is on the floor dying and I haven't called 911 yet. He doesn't know I haven't called 911 yet.
Chris, uncomfortable, urged Wendy to call for help. He saw Joseph struggling to breathe on the floor. Joseph asked for help, wondering why paramedics were taking so long. Unbeknownst to him, Wendy awaited his death. Wendy asked to borrow Chris's car to drive Joseph to the hospital. Unable to lift her weak husband, she yelled at him as he vomited again. Hearing sirens, Chris left to direct the paramedics. Wendy rushed out, yelling at them to leave. She refused to open the door, but eventually talked to them on the phone. Wendy then met the paramedics outside, wet hair and in different clothes. She told everyone Joseph was dying of cancer and had a DNR disorder, saying,
This was not the way that he wanted to go.
Chris and the paramedics left without re-entering the apartment. At 3:39, Wendy called 911 again. The same paramedics returned, finding Wendy in a bloody shirt talking to the police. Inside, they found Joseph, unresponsive, with wounds and potential murder weapons nearby. Investigators discovered a body of sodium azide, plastic containers, Q-tips, utensils, and gloves. Wendy's fingerprints were on the utensils and the box. They also found capsules of sodium azide and herbal supplement bottle, and traces in the kitchen. Police couldn't account for 20.8 grams of sodium azide. Joseph's autopsy revealed brain hemorrhaging from 23 head blows, defensive wounds, and a severe corroded artery. Sodium azide was in his blood and gastric contents. Death was due to brute force trauma. Investigators believe Wendy assaulted Joseph when he didn't die fast enough from ingesting sodium azide. Wendy was arrested and urgently sought a co-worker's help to conceal incriminating items in her office. Those close to her offered no support, willingly sharing information with the police. Her adoptive father informed detectives that she confessed to killing Joseph. Charged with first-degree murder, the state pursued the death penalty due to two aggravating factors. Firstly, Wendy anticipated financial rewards from the murder. Second, she committed the crime in a particularly vile, brutal, and wicked way. At trial, Wendy argued for acquittal, stating that she aided Joseph's desire to die. She explained that when the sodium azide, which he allegedly knew about, failed to kill him, they fought, and she defended herself against the weakened Joseph. She insisted that Joseph's actions led to his own death. Wendy's hairdresser gave testimony, stating in February 2000, Wendy confided in her that if not for Joseph's illness, she would have sought divorce. During another appointment, Wendy expressed her emotional disconnection and desire for Joseph's death to start anew. Subsequently, during another hair appointment, Wendy confided to her stylist about her interest in a man reluctant to commit due to her marital status. In court, her affairs were discussed, and Rick testified to their relationship, which he ended upon learning she was married with children. The court uncovered Wendy's fixation on Rick and her unwillingness to accept the relationship's end. One night, she persistently knocked at his door, demanding entry. Only when she threatened to obtain a master key did Rick relent. Eventually moving on from Rick, Wendy frequented bars with colleagues and friends, often seen dancing, flirting, and kissing other men. While Joseph underwent his fourth chemotherapy session, Wendy met a man at the club, brought him home, and engaged in a sexual encounter. Afterward, in an effort to maintain his interest, she falsely claimed her husband had succumbed to cancer. The jury, though not recognizing financial motives, deemed her crime heinous and recommended the death penalty. Judge Ishikawa concurred, sentencing her to death on December 22, 2004. One appeal cited 11 errors, including the unfairness of discussing her affairs and life insurance pursuits, as they were unrelated to Joseph's death.
Wendy was quoted saying that the prosecutor took every opportunity to infuse the trial with marginally relevant information about my partying and man-chasing.
The appeal rebuttal stated that the trial presented information was pertinent. Presently, Wendy resides on death row in Arizona State Prison Complex, Lemley, identified as inmate 191593.